The Indian government has been zealously hiding this list for you. The dubious list of tax cheats who have stashed away billions in offshore accounts by cheating the Indian state. The government had been dithering to uncover the rogues gallery. A list of those had been given to India by the German authorities. Now headlines today for the first time unmasks these rogues. And the list contains the names of the IPL Kochi owners. Headlines today has exclusively accessed the list of the secret foreign account holders. The owners of the Kochi IPL franchise, Dilip, Arun and Harshad Mehta, are among the biggest diamond merchants in the world. Headlines today's investigation has revealed that the Mehtas, who own 12% stake in Kochi IPL, have secret accounts in the LGT Bank of Liechtenstein. These men have siphoned funds to fronts which have money trails linked to tax havens in Luxembourg and Guernsey. Diamond firm Rosy Blue, in which the Mehtas hold shares, was used to park funds abroad. Shell companies controlled by secretive trusts in Guernsey were also used to siphon off funds. Pine Trust and Beach Settlement used Deutsche Bank as trustees to illegally park money. Headlines today has uncovered LGT Bank documents which reveal that $1.5 lakh were transferred from Panama accounts to Jembel's Prabodh Mehta. Jembel is among the world's oldest and most trusted names in the global diamond trade. Enforcement Directorate and RBI officials have confirmed to Headlines today that 3 trusts held by the Mehtas are currently under scanner for money laundering and FEMA violations. Not only this, nearly 4.4 million euros used for estate planning were transferred to Liechtenstein, and the $1.2 billion Rosy Blue headquarters in Antwerp paid no tax in 2009. This is very crucial. A firm that makes $1.2 billion pays no tax. Names, faces, identities, that is what India has been wanting to know, and that is what Headlines today is doing now. The names of the people who hold secret accounts. This is Headlines Today breaking news. I'm joined now in the studio by Headlines Today's correspondent Ashish Mehrishi, who's been working on this story very closely for the last several days. With us also is senior editor Sandeep Bamzai. I want to come to you, Ashish, first. These documents that you have uncovered, very, very crucial. They detail the exact manner in which the money was generated, how it was parked in Luxembourg and Guernsey, and how it came to the LGT accounts. Take our viewers through and give them a sense, Ashish, of who these people are and how much money they stole from India.
Well, Rahul, I and Dhiren have been working on this story for several months, and one of our friends in in Europe had helped us with all these documents. Now, I'd like to show this to our viewers. There are 3 different trusts through which the entire money trail has come into India, and let me tell you that these trusts are named by the name Direct Trust, Dynese Trust, and as well as Sokolo Trust. Now the name in Germany is Direct Stiftung, Dynese Stiftung, Sokolo Stiftung. Stiftung in Germany means foundation. Now let me show it to our viewers, the real beneficiaries of this trust. This is the Dynese Stiftung that we are talking about in Vaduz, in Liechtenstein, and the owners and the beneficiaries are Dilip Ramnik Lal Mehta, Arun Ramnik Lal Mehta and Harshad Ramnik Lal Mehta. This is an official document which is there with us. If you go to the Sokolo Stiftung, now again you have Prabodh Kirtilal Mehta, who are the beneficiaries, as well as Rashmi Kirtilal Mehta. Now let me tell you, Rahul, and especially to our viewers, Prabodh Kirtilal Mehta is the owner of LILAVATI hospital in Mumbai. This is a big name, this is not a small name. As well as Dilip and Arun, they are owners of Rosy Blue diamonds in India. And when you talk about Rosy Blue diamonds in India, they in turn hold equity through film waves combined in an IPL team, the IPL Kochi
this
team.
Will lead to huge, Ashish.
Yeah.
This will lead to huge problems for the Kochi IPL owners. They've just got their team after so much drama, and now it turns out that the money, the source of the money in the IPL Kochi franchise could be black money. I want to go across now to a journalist named David. We're not revealing his full name or his or the location where he's joining us from this evening. He's been working very closely with Ashish Mehrishi and Dhiren Pundir over the last several days, taking us through these maze of documents, helping us put together this story. He's now joining us this evening. David, you've been looking very closely at the Liechtenstein list. Give our viewers a sense of what your scrutiny really draws out, and what action is being taken against the people named in this list by the Liechtenstein and the German authorities?
Okay. Well, I don't know what actions are taken against those people because, you know, tax authorities work in secrecy. It's the best way for them to be successful. What struck me when I analyzed the data is that, you know, you have here complex structures of companies and trusts related to each other, and to set up those structures, those offshore structures, it costs a lot of money. And if you pay that money, it is because you have something to hide, basically.
Okay, David, also, you've been looking at these people very closely, trying to understand how this business actually operates. Take our viewers through how these accounts in the Liechtenstein bank were set up, how they operated, and how much money is stacked in each of them.
Well, it's very difficult to know how much money is stuck in those foundations because most of them by today have been dissolved, I guess, because of the tax investigations, of course. The documents I could have a look at don't say how much money is hidden in those foundations or in those offshore companies. But there are documents showing banking transactions from one entity to the other. And I can tell you that we're talking here about millions euro.
David, give me a moment. I'm going to come back to you in just a short while from now, but I want to go across also to Vipin Malik. He's a leading chartered accountant, understands money laundering better than almost anybody else in the country. He's joining us. Also, MJ Akbar, India Today editorial director, joining us from Lucknow. He's been following this case very closely. In fact, let me come to you, MJ, first. Now that this list is out and the government really has been trying very hard to keep this list hidden, the identity of these people hidden, when it turns out that the people who own the LILAVATI bank, when it turns out the people who own the IPL Kochi franchise, when those are the sort of names involved, it really leads one to wonder, why was the government trying to hide these names and identities so much?
Well, the answer in a sense lies in your question, Rahul. First, congratulations for a great story. And, but there is so much more which is obvious and inexplicable. I mean, we have actually carried, you have carried, India Today has carried a $8 billion account in a Swiss bank by a man who's still wandering around this country free. I mean, what could be more preposterous? Talking billions. There are many methodologies, you were discussing this just now, by which money is being transferred. One of the ways, David was right when he said complex structures are expensive and have been created in order to hide something. One of the ways, by the way, is the invoicing process, where you show that you have actually sold and created revenues. You'll find one or two companies, for example, which have shown sudden jump, massive jump in Swiss earnings. These are not real Swiss earnings. These are actually Hawala transactions which are routed through companies, which I'm sure a person like Vipin Malik will be able to explain in more technical jargon.
Okay.
So there are many ways in which money has been transferred. The people of India want to know only one thing, that why have you kept silent for so long? These names have been with the government of India not for today. It's with media even only today. They've been government of India for a long time. Why have you kept quiet?
Okay, Manishankar Iyer is also with us. Vipin Malik is with us. He's one of the country's leading experts on black money and money laundering. Mr. Malik, I want to come to you first. Help our viewers deconstruct these names, the trusts. It's all very complex. That's the whole idea, that they make it so complex that you don't know whose money it is and where it's hidden. Try and give our viewers a sense. You've looked at these documents very closely. Give our viewers a sense of what they should make of this story, the names, the identities, and the manner in which the money was taken away from India, sir.
I thought you'd call me on this program for Egypt. I had no idea that this was the subject you wanted to discuss with me. And unlike you, who've had an opportunity to see these documents, I don't even know what these documents are. But even without looking at them, I can tell from your own description that they are so complex in their construction that identifying the real beneficiary of these accounts is an extremely complex process and will not stand scrutiny in a court of law unless the bank itself were to certify that these are sums of money that have been deposited with us. Now the Swiss, and they have now been imitated by numbers of other tax havens, have all established that their own banking laws prevent them from even revealing the details, let alone coming into a court in India and certifying that whatever documentation we give is actually authentic. If they were not safe havens, people wouldn't take their money there. It's precisely because these are safe havens, not only for Indian money, but for monies coming in from various countries around the world, and a lot of it connected with drug trafficking and arms trafficking, that these banks exist at all. So I think now whipping ourselves into a kind of frenzy doesn't seem to me to make much practical sense.
But Mr. Iyer, let me just ask you this question, sir. Let me ask you this question, sir. The IPL Kochi franchise owners had black money. This was known to the government, this was known to the finance minister himself, this was known to the home minister also. The list is there, the government is investigating. When, say, the IPL franchise is being given out, and when the list comes out, and you know the people who are on that list, the people who want to buy the IPL Kochi franchise are people who have hidden bank accounts, and they're also being investigated in this case. Shouldn't some action be taken then, or maybe they shouldn't be allowed to go ahead with the purchase of the team? Certain things the government could have done, which is what Mr. Akbar wants to know. Why weren't these things done? Why did the government act in such a secretive fashion?
I'm sorry, I'm not in the position to comment because I thought I was coming on Egypt and you're asking me about the IPL. I know even less about cricket than I know about Egypt. I cannot comment on this specific case, but you yourself have just informed me that they are being investigated. Now obviously an investigation has to be completed before you're able to have a case that will stand up in court, and whoever is accused has the right to defend himself, as also to say that he is innocent until he's proved guilty.
Fair enough.
So I was about to say that Global Financial Integrity, a think tank based in Washington, has estimated that before economic reforms, 27% of the Indian economy was in the black. Now, after economic reforms and after all these taxation reforms, the same GFI estimates that 43% of our economy is in the black. And this figure is more or less confirmed by our own National Council of Applied Economic Research. In other words, if you have systems of round tripping, such as you do via Mauritius, which accounts for 44% of the investment in our Bombay Stock Exchange, you have a clear choice between lowering the rate of growth of GDP and really going after black money. These are stark choices that the government has to face, but I think instead of going hammer and tongs, as the media has been doing in the last few days, at government for not controlling it, I suggest that you also turn the searchlight on all these famed names of the Indian corporate world who cannot but be the true beneficiaries of this kind of a thing.
Now you made a very strong contention. You've made a very strong contention, and I want to put that to Vipin Malik and also to Nalin Kohli. Nalin, I come to you first. Manishankar Iyer very rationally arguing that yes, you know, there's a certain amount of curiosity, suspense, mystery building up about who these 26 names are, and therefore a lot of excitement in the media that this is the list, these are the people. But he's saying that there is an investigation which is currently going on. So instead of getting so excited about these names, let the government rationally finish its investigation, and at the end of it, Pranab Mukherjee is already on record saying after the investigations are over, the names will be made public, and therefore this is a case of everybody wanting to jump into an ongoing investigation, which is not good.
I think, Rahul, the key element here is not about the details in terms of this name is right or not, and about the prosecution or not. I think it's about the intent, whether we want to get to the bottom of it and whether we want to prosecute and ensure that we get back the black money which is stored outside India. That's, I think, the key issue.